No change during the sprint. Many times this rule confuses professionals because they think Agile and Scrum is all about adapting to the changes. Then why are we talking about no change during the sprint? The idea is simple. We want to have some predictability in the system. We want to have a predictable exploration cycle. The cycle starts with identification of a goal and it ends with delivering or achieving that goal. And after that we will learn, we will adapt and identify the second cycle. If we keep changing our direction in between, it will confuse all of us and it will not produce any goal at the end of the sprint. So we start our sprint by committing to a sprint goal. We always have lots of requirements. We call them a list of requirement, product backlog, or whatever name you want to give it to. In Scrum, we call it product backlog. We pick up these requirements and make a sprint goal. And this may be elaborated by 3 product backlog items which are coming from here. So we may pick up A, B, C item and summarize them in a sprint goal. And during the sprint, we want to focus on this particular goal, and at the end, we want to release a releasable product which is catering to this particular goal. In between, if we keep changing our direction, so if I start working on these 3 items and for this particular goal, and in between it says, no, we need to put up a D item again, and we can drop the item C. So I have done some work here, I have changed my direction here, and I want to start working in a different goal. This is generating waste. Now, adaptation can be taken at a cycle, but not inside the particular sprint. Many times people feel, what if the team has not started working on C? Why can't they change it? Because they just had 3 items and they just started working. As we start doing development or as we start working in the sprint, even when we do a detailed sprint planning, each these items we can think of like A, B, C item. Each item will have some level of investment even on the day 1 when we do a sprint planning meeting. We elaborate them, we understand them, and we understand the top level design of these 3 items. After subsequently, team will put more and more hours to these items, and it may happen that one item has been gone advanced, another items are not yet reached there because we may want to put this item first in a done stage. But even at this stage, if somebody comes and says, okay, drop B item, you are not getting any value of the effort which you have spent for that particular B item because it is not done. It is not part of your running final product. So in order to eliminate and bring some discipline in the development process, the rule says don't do this. Else you won't be knowing how much work you are really working on because the effort, the time spent in these items which are getting dropped will not getting contributed, will not getting added when we monitor, when we see our progress at the end. Now many times the rule of no change during the sprint get confused with we need to have a baseline plan here, detailed baseline plan, and during the sprint this plan has to be followed, no change. This is not the intent of no change during the sprint rule. The plan will emerge. We have been talking that initially we have lots of planning activities, but here also we will keep doing replanning, renegotiation of scope throughout. So it is not about not changing the sprint plan which is baseline here. It is all about not changing the focus, not changing the goal which team has agreed in the beginning of the sprint, and this goal is substantiated by the items which you are selecting from the product backlog. While working on it, the B item may require more clarification. It may require one more code to be written, one more interaction to be done. Those kind of addition and deletion can be done during the plan, and we can keep working on a given sprint. So this rule helps us in bringing some level of discipline in the stakeholders as well as in development team. Now there could be exceptional situations where you come across a sprint goal which is no more relevant. Now you started the sprint and market situation has changed and it looks stupid to work on something which is not making sense at all. In those exceptional cases, the product owner, the designated product owner, can decide to completely cancel the sprint. So it's like a cancellation of the complete sprint, and we relook at our product backlog and we start the cycle again. We initiate the new sprint again. Considering the optimal duration, a short duration of the sprint, because we want to keep this duration which removes such kind of possibilities, the cancelling of sprint should be an exceptional event, because it generates a lot of demotivation in the team, and it generates good amount of waste in the system. So this rule is more about bringing a rhythm and ensuring that we don't generate a lot of waste while we run the sprint.